Okay, I think it's kind of a given that I love Porsches. Porsche, that's how you say it, right? Porsche is the pinnacle of German engineering, and that's why I don't own just one, but two of them. And us car guys, I think we should all own one or two or three or as many as our significant other will let us, because they're reliable, they're sporty, and they look amazing. In fact, I'm gonna tell you about some very affordable Porsche models. And if you're new here, I'm Brad Danger. I love Porsches, so please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because these are the best Porsche models that you can afford and make money driving. Are you ready? Well, buckle up and let's go, baby. Real quick, I gotta thank today's sponsor, Fixed. And if you've been watching Ideal for any amount of time, you know that we love Ideal cars. And most Ideal cars come without a warranty. So when the check engine light comes on, it's a scary sight. But worry no more, let me show ya. You see, the check engine light comes on a little too often in the Porsche, but lucky for me, this little guy takes up no space in the glove box. And all I gotta do is plug it into the OBD2 port, and it works on any vehicle from 1996 or newer. And voila, you know exactly what's wrong with your vehicle. And the best part is it connects directly to your phone via Bluetooth, and it'll tell you exactly what's wrong with your car in plain English. So that means no more going to the mechanic and not trusting them with your car. Oof. I don't know if that's gonna buff out. Now, normally Fixed is 60 bucks, which is a great value. But right now, using the link down in the description and the first comment, it's only $19.99 plus free shipping while supplies last. Okay, it's pouring out. I'm getting out of here. And that's an incredible deal. And if I were you, I'd snag a couple of them because they make perfect gifts for non-car people. So click the link in the description or the first comment and snag them before they're all gone. And thanks again, Fixed, for sponsoring today's video and making that pesky little check engine light a little less frightening. What's the first cheap Porsche that comes to mind? Well, it's the Porsche Boxster, of course. Now, the Porsche Boxster is widely known as the poor man's 911, but newsflash, some Porsche enthusiasts actually enjoy the Boxster more than the 911. But if you ask Brad Danger, it's a 911 or die, but that said though, the Boxster definitely has its perks. It's lighter and smaller than the 911, making it way more fun, even though it's got a lot less power. And while the 911 is undoubtedly a lightweight firecracker that is super fun to drive, the Boxster's also a blast for those very same reasons, and some say even more fun. Again, I'm kind of skeptical, but I've spent some time in a Boxster Spider and it was a canyon killer. And the one place that the Boxster definitely has a leg up on a Porsche 911 is its affordability. Plus, since they're so similar, why not just choose the cheaper option? Heck, for Porsche to cut down on manufacturing costs with the 996, they also opted for the front third of the 911 to look just like the 986 Boxster. So those parts in 1999 are interchangeable between the Boxster and the 911. So you could buy a Boxster and it would look like a 911 from the front at least. And heck, you can pick up a black stallion Boxster over an awesome Carrera red interior for just 6,500 bucks. Not to mention it only has 38,000 miles. And if you want to learn how to buy any of these Porsches on this list like an absolute pro, go check out our Ideal Car Strategies. Because if you were gonna buy a comparable 911, you'd be at least shelling out at least double that. But if you're looking for something big, the next car is gonna tickle your taste buds and tear up the tarmac. We're talking about the Porsche Cayenne Turbo. With 450 horsepower and even more torque, the behemoth Cayenne Turbo goes to 60 in just 5 seconds. And that's for a 2003 model. This family hauler will hold its own against pretty much any supercar of its time. And heck, the pickup is comparable to like a Ferrari 360, which means this thing hauls ass. And it stops as well. With a set of rotors that is literally bigger than my head. Please, no comment about the size of my head. I'm kind of self-conscious, but if you want an Ideal hat or this limited edition Ideal tee, go check them out up there, because the Cayenne Turbo has room for 4 grown adults and a small 5th seat for the stack of Gappleby cards that you'll be handing out to supercar owners. And if you need more space, the Cayenne Turbo's got a huge trunk. You know, space for all that Ideal merch, right? No, just kidding, but not really, go snag some. Because the Cayenne Turbo is fast and it's practical. and it's loaded with a ton of tech. And back then you were looking at dropping 90K for a Cayenne turbo, but depreciation wins again. And today you can have an 03 model under 120,000 miles for just 10K. Plus they really didn't change the design from 02 to 2010, so you can tell people that you own a newer one if you want. No, don't do that. That's weird. But if you're married to the idea of having a turbo, but you need something to rip roar around in that's a little bit, well, better at cornering and you don't need as much space, then the 944 Turbo might be your golden ticket. Built from 1982 to 1991, the Porsche 944 Turbo is essentially a dinosaur, but this old dog still has some pep in its step. Light and noble, the 944 Turbo is the exact opposite of the Cayenne Turbo. And because the 944 Turbo was built in the Stone Ages, the prices have gone way down and they're gonna start going back up. So don't get me wrong though, enthusiasts to this day still rave about this car, and you gotta ask yourself, why is the 944 Turbo so awesome? Well, the engineers at Porsche took the already sporty 944 and strapped a turbo and intercooler on it. The result? 217 very playful horses. It could do 0 to 60 in just 5.9 seconds. And that's faster than most sports cars even today. I mean, heck, this one is like 4.8 and this one's like 4.7 before I put the off-road tires and stuff, which, what do you think? Let us know down below in the comments. Do you like this thing or is it a little bit whack?
It's hair, whack. It's gear, whack.
I know personally, I love it. I heart it. And check out this one. For just $15,000, we found you a tip-top 86 that you can go rip around in. And the next car has been nicknamed the German Corvette. Why? Well, maybe it's because of the way it drives, and maybe it's because so many people have already LS swapped it. But who knows? Well, the one thing is for sure, the Porsche 928 is a bargain for performance. You see, Porsche made the 928 as a luxury grand tourer, and they kept rolling them out year after year for roughly 20 years. And the 928 features Porsche's very first V8, and they put it up in the front, where on these cars is what I call the frunk. And all this magic made the 928 the first front-mounted V8 Porsche ever built. And you know what else was on the front? Yeah, those super stylish pop up and down headlights. And nobody on the planet does pop up and down headlights like Porsche. And did you know that Porsche almost, and I wish they had, put in a V10 into the 928. That would have been the ultimate luxury grand tourer ever. I would have loved to see what Jeremy Clarkson would have said about that thing.
Stupid. It's stupid.
I mean, that pretty much just sounds like an older version of the Lexus LFA. That would have been mind-blowing and so cool. But unfortunately, the 928 was brought to market during the oil crisis. So they opted for a smaller, more efficient choice, which is probably good on them. Although I still kind of wish that they would have put in the V10. Come on, Porsche, do something ballsy. But even though it only had a V8, there was no compromise on price. The 928, it sold for 80K back in the day. But if you were to take that due to inflation, that is easily well into the six figures. Yeah, that's right. And now you can get one with under 100,000 miles on it for just 9,500 bucks. And now the moment that you've all been waiting for, the Porsche 911. How do I know it's affordable? Well, because I have not just one, but two, like I said earlier. And this 996 generation is pretty much unbeatable. You know, it's the one that looks like it has fried egg headlights, which, I mean, is true. And honestly, it's one of its most endearing factors. But the fact that it's still a 911, it looks like a 911, it drives like a 911 because it is a 911, means that it is so much bang for your buck right now because it is kind of the bastard child of Porsche 911s. And if we take a step around back here to the business end, well, the air-cooled engine that Porsche used for 34 years, they ditched it because pretty much they ran out of ways to make it perform any better. So they had to put water and some other chemicals in it, which really pissed off the purists. But for guys that just want a good value and make money driving a cool car, this is where the money's at, baby. And this water-cooled power plant really brought Porsche into the modern day, making it more reliable, easier to just get in and drive. And I had an air-cooled 911 and it broke down quite a bit. Plus, if you get one like the C4S, then you got all-wheel drive. Plus, if you're more of a track rat, you can snag the GT3, which has the Mezger motor like the turbo, and you don't have to worry about the IMS RMS, but we're not gonna talk about that in today's video. The thing about the 996 911 is that they have everything from mild, like the 996.1 C2, all the way to wild, like the GT2. Twin turbo, rear wheel drive, and just a pure widowmaker. And I just snagged this one for $19,500, so they are still definitely affordable, but prices are going up quick. So you better get out there, not just walk, but run and snag one before they continue to go up in price. But if a Porsche 911 isn't really your thing, well then there is also the Porsche Cayman, which is a solid investment as well. While the 911 has gotten bigger and more powerful, not to mention also picked up way too many nannies for my taste, the Cayman has stayed very true to the spirit that the older 911s embodied. And the Cayman is really such an underrated sports car. Porsche purists may shame you just a little bit for not getting a 911, but hey, we can still be friends because you can just flip them the bird as you fly by in your 06 Cayman S doing a $170. Well, don't do the bird and don't do a $170, at least on public roads, but maybe down in Mexico. Yeah, don't even do it there. But one of its most endearing factors is how much it weighs, or lack thereof, because even in its most outfitted trim, it weighs less than 3,000 pounds. And the lightest of 911s, which would have been this one of the same year, tips the scales at over 3,000 pounds. And the easiest way to go fast is lose weight. And so the Cayman is comparable from 0 to 60 as a Porsche 911. And the fact that it is mid-engined like the Boxster makes it actually a better driver's car. But don't let my friends know that I think that. And what can you get for $15,000? Well, a lot actually, if you're looking for a ton of fun in a Cayman. So there you go, some ridiculously cheap Porsches that you gotta go out and buy today. And if you buy the right one using the Ideal Car strategies, you could drive it for free or even make money on them, like these two here. Well, that one I don't think I'm gonna make much money on, but that one over there, yeah, it's definitely going up in value. And I get to enjoy it while I own it and then sell it for more. So out of these, which one would you pick up and why? Let us know down below, or did we miss a Porsche that we should have included in this list that is cheap and you could make money driving? Let us know. And also, if you're new here, I'm Brad Danger, this is Ideal. Please subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and also give us a thumbs up. And also go check out some of our other Ideal content and keep living the Ideal lifestyle.